Now, women may make up 50% of the population, but they make up less than 25% of startup founders. Well, today we'll answer that question and just look into why crowdfunding works particularly well for female-led startups. Tick Her starts right now.
Tick Her, in association with Lift Women, inspiring female founders.
Over the last 8 episodes of Tick Her, we have explored each of the various stages along the entrepreneurial journey. A common theme right throughout has been that of securing funding, which plays a critical part in any startup across all stages, but particularly in the scaling and growth phases. And female businesses that have managed to hit their capital funding goals out of the park have led to an incredible uptick of interest. And whilst women represent 50% of the population, they make up less than 25% of startup founders. And with only 2.3% of total venture capital being invested in the female-led startups and only 12% of decision makers being female, this episode will explore a range of funding options with a focus on crowdfunding. And with that in mind, I'm excited to get to our guests for today. And remember, whilst Lift Women are the presenting sponsor of today's discussion, all of the views and opinions are of course our own. Now, joining me to discuss all of this is Irene Sang, the founder and CEO of Lift Women, Australia's first women-focused go-to funding marketplace. Irene, welcome to the show and thanks for joining me.
Hi, Jamila. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Now, you're here to talk everything funding, skills, knowledge and networking, as well as some exciting news from the Lift Women team, I hear. But before we get into all that, let's get into this crowdfunding. Now, this episode is about funding. So can you share the different funding options that are available? And going off the statistics that I gave earlier, what are the options that are available for women in particular?
Well, yes, let's start with there are traditional and non-traditional funding options. Traditional funding options are like using your own savings, borrowing from family or friends, government grant, business loan from banks, private investment from angel investors or venture capitalists. Well, there are also some non-traditional funding that we usually refers to some sort of refinancing and fintech innovation like crowdfunding, which is a way to finance your startup by raising money from a large group of people who each contribute a relatively small amount. And you will have a chance to get funding from backers all around the world as it's all online. And that's why particularly crowdfunding drew my attention and I started Lift is because it's actually a great way to raise initial capital, especially for early stage startup when they don't really have track record or they just need a little bit of the initial capital to start.
Yeah, and on the back of that, I mean, we hear that Lift Women have some exciting news to share in relation to all this. So please tell us all about it.
Yes, thank you for asking this question. So yes, we are so excited to share that we've launched Lift Angels, which is a global women empowerment movement that connects female founders with backers and supporters all around the world to make their business dream come true. When I first started Lift Women, we've gaining overwhelming response from a lot of women that wanted to start. And they start to see things, it's possible for them and relatively easier. So they can go to the platform and create projects that raise money. But the key to make it successful is the capability to connect people around the world to really support and increase their visibility to more people and let more people see their ideas, see their business and back them. So and that's why we started this Lift Angel campaign that is a global women empowerment movement that connect female founders with backers.
You mentioned the importance of community, and I mean, this seems to be a really important theme throughout the crowdfunding space, and you managed to capture this really beautifully in the launch of the new Lift Angels campaign. Let's just take a quick look.
The backers and those around me helped me to make better decisions about my business. They gave me feedback. They gave me money. They gave me power to make decisions and to move forward. And without them, I wouldn't be where I am today.
We're Lift Angels. Would you like to speak to them right now?
Yeah, I'm gonna call them right now. Oh my God!
And confident in my ideas. If I had to say one thing right now to my family, my friends, my supporters, just Thank you so much. I couldn't have been here right now without the support that you've given me.
This business has been so profound in my life and in my community's life. If I could tell my backers and my supporters one thing, it would be thank you so much for supporting me and for backing me, and I am so humbled by their support.
So touching. Now, Irene, I mean, this is such a beautiful initiative. So what makes Lift Angels different and unique apart from other crowdfunding options, and who are you doing this for?
Well, it's a great question. So I think, in my view, I think the first it's focus. We are not only supporting women-led startups, we also support small and micro businesses who may be out of investors' radars or not really wanting to raise a large amount of capital. But this little amount of money, the initial capital that help them really start their business or start to productions can really, really change their life. And we think this is what we're missing now in these startup ecosystems. We tend to focus on those startups that has scalability or that's within investor radars or that's even established. But what about those group of women and girls out there that they have amazing business ideas, inspiring stories that just wanted to get started? So that's the whole concept or theme of the Lift Angels, is to supporting every woman and girls around the world to make their business dreams come true. So number one, I think, is the focus of Lift Angels that makes it different. And secondly, I think is that movement is not about founders. It's not just for founders, it's for everyone. Because as I said, when we do crowdfunding, the key success factor is the crowd. So we need to bring everybody on board who's genuinely want to support women but don't know how. Then we are creating that platform, creating this channel, creating this way to let them be able to give back to the community and support women in a practical ways.
Well, Irene, thank you so much for your time on Ticker and for sharing your story.
Thank you for having me.
Now, with that in mind, I'd like to introduce you to the next guest, who is a Lift Angel herself, Nicola Allen from Rock Bottom Nappies, a customisable subscription service delivering biodegradable bamboo nappies to your door every month. They say they're on a mission to make the world a less crappy place for families, the environment and survivors of family violence. And Rock Bottom Nappies founder and Lift Angel, Nicola, joins me now. Nicola, thanks for being on Tick Her today.
Thank you so much for having me, Jamila.
Of course. Now, first off, let's start with you. What's your story and how did you start Rock Bottom Nappies?
So Rock Bottom Nappies was started in lockdown during my second pregnancy. I wanted to start a business that would improve the lives of others and my environment. Front of mind for me at that point in my life was the amount of nappies that we go through and the impact of the environment, as well as those difficult early days as a parent where you have so much on your plate and so little sleep. And what you really need are products and services that will offer you convenience without compromising your values.
Now, explain a little bit more about the business in general. What makes Rock Bottom Nappies unique and different from the rest?
I suppose the model for Rock Bottom Nappies is what makes it unique. There are plenty of nappies out on the market, but what makes us unique is that we not only work to make sure that we're not impacting the environment that we live in, but also that we donate nappies to survivors of family violence, as well as the fact that our subscription service is an Australian first. It's customizable to the needs of the family. So every single month you'll receive the amount of nappies that your family needs, no more and no less. And then I guess the other thing is that our nappies are just as great as the traditional supermarket brands that you might find in store, but they don't compromise on the environmental values that we hold so dear.
Yeah, definitely. And I understand that you choose to donate nappies to survivors of family violence. So why make this decision to choose this group in particular to donate to?
I suppose the model for Rock Bottom Nappies is what makes it unique. There are plenty of nappies out on the market, but what makes us unique is that we not only work to make sure that we're not impacting the environment that we live in, but also that we donate nappies to survivors of family violence, as well as the fact that our subscription service is an Australian first. It's customizable to the needs of the family. So every single month you'll receive the amount of nappies that your family needs, no more and no less. And then I guess the other thing is that our nappies are just as great as the traditional supermarket brands that you might find in store, but they don't compromise on the environmental values that we hold so dear.
Yeah, definitely. And I understand that you choose to donate nappies to survivors of family violence. So why make this decision to choose this group in particular to donate to?
Well, Jamila, sadly, 1 in 4 women in Australia and 1 in 3 children in Australia will experience family violence at some point in their lives. As a survivor of family violence myself, I know that when you flee that dangerous environment, you often don't have time to pack or to plan. Suddenly you find yourself in a crisis situation without the bare essentials to get you through the first few nights, often with a young child in tow. So the reason why I donate nappies to survivors of family violence is because I want to help make a family's journey to safety a little bit less stressful if I can. It might seem like a small gesture, but it does go a long way when you're in that position and you're tight on money and you haven't got essentials at hand.
Absolutely. Now, Nicola, as not only a Lift Angel, but a female founder and a survivor of family violence, what message would you like to share to those watching?
As a Lift Angel, I suppose my message is don't underestimate yourself or the value of the community around you. If you have business goals, Lift Women is a wonderful platform for you to leverage and achieve your goals. And the team at Lift Women are so wonderfully supportive. You're absolutely sure to thrive with the beautiful community around you. You'll achieve your goals if you surround yourself with other women. And as Irene said earlier, you know, when you lift up other women, you don't only lift up that particular woman, you lift up her family and her community. And it's really a matter of helping all boats rise as we rise the tides.
Absolutely. Nicola, thank you so much for joining me on Tick Her today and for sharing your amazing story.
Thank you for having me.
Well, there's some incredible women on both today's episode of Tick Her and throughout the rest of our episodes. Thanks for tuning in, and to find out more about how you can start your own entrepreneurial journey, head over to liftwomen.com, and for more shows like this one, of course, be sure to head over to tickoriginals.co or tickernews.co for breaking stories. I'm Jamila Jallo, and I'll see you again soon.